All right, everybody. So we have made it to another fall semester. Yay, exciting stuff, right? Round of applause for sure. And my hope is that you guys are attending because you're interested in learning more about our Preparing Future Faculty and Professionals program, which is a completely free resource for you. So we are super excited in order to have you guys participate in this program. So what I'm going to do is talk to you a little bit about PFFP. I invited a former scholar to come and chat with you a little bit about it as well. But before we get started, I always like to see and get a taste for who is in the space and who's in the room. So if you could just in the chat, um, take a second and write down what program you are from, what school you're with. So I would be like grad school. But somebody else might be like informatics. So, so take a couple of minutes and drop it in the chat. Let us know what schools you are representing, programs you're representing. I see you, occupational therapy, communication studies, ECE is here, public health is here. Okay, HHS, museum studies, awesome. Urban ed, yes, urban ed, love it, love it. Also, the other thing I want to kind of get a feel for is how are you guys doing today, right? I always kind of start my meetings with how are you doing? I see dental science in here. Hey, y'all, good to see you. uh, so I encourage you to use your reactions and those little cute little emojis. And if you click on the emojis on the side, you can pick any emoji and drop those emojis in the chat too. Let me know how you're feeling today. If it's good, bad, or ugly, sideways, any of the things. I see some thumbs up. I see some smiles. That's great. I'm masked up, but not right now because I got my door closed. So I see some celebrations. Somebody's looking a little sad, but maybe sleepy too. Maybe also sleepy. All the things. I totally understand for sure. So thank you so much for letting me get a little tone of the room. This is me looking at y'all like, So, but making sure you guys are okay. So. So we'll talk a little bit more about PFFP today, and I'm excited that you guys are interested in the PFFP program. I'm going to quickly introduce my grad assistant, Charisma Mcmurray. Charisma, wave your hand. She's up in my top corner, but if you didn't see her, look for her name that is there. Okay. So when you guys send an email to PFFP, usually she's the one that answers it. And she's also the one that sent you messages through the listserv. And she also will send you announcements and messages through our Canvas page as well. Okay. So just want to recognize her and let her introduce herself too. Okay. All right. So we are about to get the party started. Students usually call this party with Dr. Hardy. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute and just ask me. And feel free to stop me at any point too. And also, if you want to drop things in the chat, Charisma will be monitoring the chat so that we can answer your questions there as well. Okay, everybody see my screen okay? Awesome. All right. So I'm Dr. Tabitha Hardy. I'm the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Graduate Education. Super excited to have you guys with us today so that we can chat a little bit more about PFFP. So what is PFFP? It's our Preparing Future Faculty and Professionals program. And it started out as just being PFF, which was Preparing Future Faculty. And that was actually started by the Council of Graduate Schools and the American Association of Colleges and Universities. And it was addressed to do this, what they call the mismatch, right? Because we all know that with doctoral education, we're very much taught about our subject area, but we're not necessarily taught about becoming a faculty member. Some areas aren't even taught much about teaching, right? And so they launched this PFF program to provide some alternative model to prepare faculty members. All right, so with PFFP, I'll take you guys to the website in a few minutes, but we primarily offer events and workshops that are focused on developing teaching, research, service, and then organizational and professional development. So we added our own P, and our own P stands for being a professional, because we understand that there are some folks that are not going to go into the academic realm, that don't want to be faculty, but do want to explore what being a professional in their area looks like, okay? And so that's why we have our own PFFP instead of just regular PFF. And I think I actually may have skipped this slide, because what we're hoping to do is to introduce the whole range of professional responsibilities in research, teaching, and service for folks who are interested in the academy. And so if you're interested in being faculty, you know that for most folks, in order to attain tenure, you have to have some and show some expertise in the areas of research, teaching, and service, okay? So a lot of folks will go up for tenure on teaching or go up for tenure on research, right? And the folks who are interested in professional career options, typically they will do our PFP track, which is for those who are interested in non-academic careers, okay? So PFF and PFFP have existed here for a long time. Actually, as a student, I went through PFF because I actually, I knew I wanted to teach, right? So that's really exciting for me. Here, this PFFP started in 2012, so I wasn't here when it started, but we have been just continuing with the program, and we partner with departments, industry, community partners to really help you all get an idea of what non-academic positions may occur as well, okay? So I kind of already mentioned that we have our scholars think about teaching, research, service, and organizational and professional development. And right now you are attending the orientation event, so you already have some PFFP credit, whether you know it or not. Yes, you're already getting started with PFFP. And then we also have folks complete a capstone project. Now, when I say capstone project, it's really a capstone essay that is a summary of some of the things that you've done. And it's a prompt that just kind of lets us know what your experience was like going through the program. So it's not anything that you would have to do in addition to your thesis or dissertation. We already know you're doing enough, okay? All right, so just to provide you all with an overview of the program, is completely free to apply and to participate. And I use this word apply very loosely because anyone that applies and has the materials, we review the materials, but I have not rejected anybody and said, no, you can't be a PFFP. No, it's not, no. The only thing that I have done is if there is not a letter of recommendation submitted, I asked for the letter of recommendation. And the letter does not have to come from your primary mentor. It can come from any faculty member. We just want to make sure that there's someone that can support you through the process and knows that you're going through our PFFP program. So you'll complete the program application, and I'll show you guys that in a few minutes. You'll be admitted into the program and become a PFFP Scholar, which is super cool because you get a few different things for being a PFFP Scholar. One is our fantastic, lovely, beautiful, leather bound, I know, pad folio, and there's a pen that goes with it. And then another is our lapel pen, which I thought I had out, but I don't have it out, but it says PFFP on it. Very cool. And so once you are admitted as a scholar, we send that to you. And if we haven't sent you yours yet and you have been admitted, let me know so we can do that. Okay. You'll be added to our Canvas site. And it just says PFFP, and this is where we put out a lot of announcements. And then you can document your attendance and participation in PFFP and professional development workshops. And so I'll show you guys someone's documentation card so you can see how this works, okay? Once you complete those program requirements and your capstone essay, you'll upload that and the documentation card in Canvas. And then you can earn your program certificate, which is being displayed in the slideshow, and a program badge. So there's also a badge that you can claim to add to your LinkedIn profile. And I've also seen people add their badge to their signatures so that people know that they have gone through a particular program. Questions so far? I think I see something in the chat. Can your advisor send? Yes, absolutely. So yes, if your advisor doesn't feel comfortable with just giving it to you or having it you upload it, have them email us at pffp@IUPUI, and they can we will take it there and add it to your application. So how do you apply? And first of all, who should apply? You should apply. You should definitely. So if you're on the fence at this point, don't be on the fence. It's free. The application process is not all that. It's it's just you letting us know what your goals are, and it's not. It will be fine. So no worries there. Okay, and I'll show you guys the application as well. So you apply at the link that I have here, and Charisma can also put that link in the chat. It just asks you for demographic information, like who are you, your degree and career info. Are you pursuing a master's? Are you pursuing a PhD? Are you a postdoc? Because this is also open to our postdoc fellows. And then if you're interested in our mentoring program, we're working with some faculty members to kind of help us out to think about the mentoring aspect of this. And then we ask you to upload your CV or your bio sketch, which all of you already have, and a faculty letter of recommendation, which can be uploaded to the application or it can be sent to us at pffp@iupui.edu. Okay. So after all that happens, I look at it, I approve it, and we add you to our Canvas course, and we send you this very nice note that says, congratulations, you have been approved as a PFFP Scholar. We also send you a documentation card so you can document the things that you are attending, and then you can utilize that as you continue throughout the program. All right, so what are these program requirements she keeps talking about? Okay, here you go. So I've already let you know that you are going through orientation right now, which means you're already receiving an orientation unit or credit for attending the orientation today. Yay, exciting. So we have two different tracks. One is for folks who are planning to teach or wanting a faculty experience at some point. And the other one is for those who are planning a non-academic track. Okay, so PFF are for those who are thinking about a faculty track, PFP for those who are thinking about a non-faculty track. Now, when I have here 5 credits, it's not 5 credit hours, it is literally 5 hours. So it means you may attend a workshop tomorrow that is on teaching philosophy. If that workshop is an hour and a half long, then you'll get 1.5 credits for attending that workshop, okay? If that workshop is 2 hours long, then you'll get 2 credits for attending, okay? So with the PFF track, there is 1 additional credit, so you'll need 6 credits in teaching and 5 credits in research service or organizational professional. And with the PFP track, you have 1 more research and 1 less teaching, okay? So at the end, everyone still will have the 12 hours built in, right? So if you're teaching, you'll have 1 more teaching hour or 1 more teaching workshop. And if you are thinking about the non-academic side, you'll have 1 more that is geared towards research service or organizational professional, okay? Everybody get that so far? Shandon, if you've already gotten your message from us, you do not have to reapply. And yes, you can get credit for previous year's work if you have it documented. So make sure that you're documenting those, and I'll share a little bit more about documentation in just a second. All right.
Dr. Hardy, do you see the question about when should we expect to get access to the Canvas course?
So once you have been accepted into the program, you will get added to our Canvas course. So if you don't have, if you have been accepted and you don't have access to the Canvas course, then let us know, okay? But do make sure that you have applied and been accepted, okay? But if you've applied, we'll accept you. That's not a big whoop. Okay. Other questions? Can you go down both tracks? Yeah, if you can, if you want to, you certainly can. Okay. Now, will you get an extra certificate? No. Will you get an extra badge? No. but if you want to, you can definitely do that. No problem. Okay. Any other questions? I could definitely pause for the calls. Down at the bottom here, we kind of mentioned our capstone essay. It's pretty brief. And then at the bottom, you see this lovely PFFP badge that can be added to your LinkedIn profile and also your signature. I've seen people add it to their signature, so it's pretty cool. All right. So let's talk a little bit about finding workshops. So I think that for a lot of people, this is the best part of PFFP, is that you don't have to find the workshops. We've done a lot of that work for you. We have done that, and we have our own PFFP program plan that brings together workshops and programs from all over campus that you can utilize towards completing your PFFP requirements, which is very cool. You don't have to go looking for any of it. But if there are things that are going on in your department, in your school, that you think should apply to PFFP, just let us know, because 9 times out of 10, we can find a category to place it in, okay? And a lot of times we don't put a lot in the research sector unless it is kind of this overarching theme of research. Otherwise, we don't put a lot there because we know that research is very individualized. So we have a lot of our scholars that get their research credit from within their department or their school, okay? All right, so once you're accepted into the program, we'll send you a nice email. Included in that email is a blank documentation card. So the documentation card looks a lot like that. Oops, sorry. A lot like this one, okay? And what you see that this scholar has done is they have written out their the program title. They've written out the date that it was occurring, the time, the unit code that they think it fell under. This one, it says teaching, right? And the name of the facilitator, okay? In the past, we've had people get signatures, but of course, this one was happening during the pandemic. So nobody was like in face-to-face quarters with each other. So how does it work when you are doing something like Zoom? How do you document it then? So if you, as you probably already know, that Zoom will take attendance for registrations, but it also takes attendance as you are, when you log into the Zoom session. So people know if you were in the Zoom space. They also get a report that shows how long you were there, all the things, right? Okay. So even if you don't or haven't necessarily kept up with your documentation, you can also go back to folks and see if they kept up with it. I would prefer you keep up with it on your own though. The other thing I ask you to do is to do a screenshot, okay? Do a screenshot of a couple of the slides or the presentations that you attend, okay? To document that, yes, you were in attendance. Now, don't just keep sending me the first page and that's it. So the title slide, because we all know folks could take a screenshot of the title slide and then dip out. Give me a little substance so that we know that you were there, okay? But I trust you guys to be honest with us, right? Because honestly, this is all for you and for your development. So they attended some things from NIGMS, from NCFDD, lots of different spaces and places, and they were documenting their attendance on the PFFP documentation card, okay? After this gets filled out and you have your 6 credits for teaching, and I think this person had 5, so maybe they were taking the PFP track. They have more than enough research hours, right? So they scanned and uploaded it into the Canvas site. And then the capstone essay will, once I review this, the capstone essay opens up and they can review and do their capstone essay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing at this point and share with you guys a couple of websites that I know you will find useful. All right. How y'all feeling? So far, so good? Okay, great. All right. So I want to quickly share with you guys our PFFP website. So if you are on the IUPUI graduate office page, what you will see is under student life and support, there is our PFFP program. If you click there, this is the page that comes up, okay? And you might see some familiar looking faces there, right? So you'll also see, let's kind of slide back up so you'll see another familiar looking face. So you'll also see our grad office calendar. Sometimes we populate the calendar with some of the PFFP events. So you see right here our PFFP orientation there, okay? You also see the PFFP program tracks, and it also links to our PFFP program plan. So I'm going to click on the PFFP program plan, and this is a document that is a live Google Doc that Charisma goes in and edits, okay? And so it's really pretty up to date with what offerings are being sent to us and with what we are able to offer campus-wide, okay? So you'll see some events from PFFP, but you'll also see others, oops, sorry, y'all, others from Fall Career Week, some things that we think might be useful to you. You'll see some from CERTL, our Center for the Integration of Research, Teaching, and Learning. And what's cool about all of these is that it has the topic. This one is on supporting neurodivergent students. the date, the time, and then you can click here and it will send you to the registration for that, okay? Also, some events from CTL, or Center for Teaching and Learning, and pretty much anything that has teaching in it, we count it towards teaching, okay? So keep that in mind. So events from CTL, events from our School of Medicine and their Career X program. So they're doing one on LinkedIn, building your LinkedIn profile. If you haven't done that, I would definitely attend that. That will count towards our professional and organizational credit. So absolutely take a look. But this is a pretty extensive, exhaustive list of things and offerings that are going on campus. So it's very cool that you, as a PFFP scholar, have access to this. But if you decide after today, like, oh, Dr. Hardy, I don't know if I want to get started with PFFP today, but this one really seems interesting to me. You already know where to find our PFFP program plan. You can take a look at the offerings, and you can register for those events as a grad student, okay? The benefit to you to be a PFFP scholar is some of these events will close, especially some of the more popular ones. And this actually happened with the FAPDD event. It closed, and one of my PFFP scholars came to me and said, Dr. Hart, I really want to go to this. So I reached out to the organizers and I said, I have a PFFP scholar, they'd like to attend. Can we reopen the registration for them? And they did. And so that is for sure a benefit of being a PFFP scholar. And also, usually before we put big events out to the general public, we put them out to our PFFP scholars first. So keep that in mind as well. Also, you have access to LinkedIn Learning, Imagine PhD. So just like a wealth of professional development opportunities that you can take a look at that are coming from a lot of different sources, okay? And as things come up, I'll send them to Charisma, or she'll send me things that she thinks might need to be on the PFFP program plan, and we add them. So that's really cool. All right. I also kind of mentioned to you guys the application. So this is our PFFP application, and I'm going to scroll through it. It just asks for the demographic information. And I promise I've never called anybody on their campus phone. I have not. It asks you about your graduate department, what degree you're seeking, the year in your program, and I do ask about career aspirations, just to kind of think about if you are thinking about PFP or PFF. If you are thinking about both, you can choose that, and even undecided and you're still exploring, okay? I do ask folks if they've attended orientation. If you have, you can just tell us that you attended today. You have to submit your CV or resume. You can submit the letter of recommendation if you have it, but if not, you can email it to us, okay? And then I do ask a question here about what you're hoping to get out of PFFP programs, what your learning outcomes might be in participating, and then what topics of interest you have that we can address, okay? Questions about any of that? Okay, good deal. All right, so this is our Canvas course. And so as a PFFP scholar, we will add you to the Canvas course. I'm gonna put it in the student view. It's pretty pink. So you'll see where announcements are. And under modules, you'll see the PFFP program requirements, the documentation card. It has not changed from 2020. So don't be put off by that. And then it does have the media gallery of some of the recorded sessions. We upload them to our PFFP Canvas site, so check that out as well, okay? The semester plan is linked there. The PFFP program plan is linked, and also our documentation card. So, so you could click there, download the documentation card and start using it and use it as needed. Okay. Once that's done, what you would do as a scholar is you would upload your documentation card. And these are the only two completion items there. The documentation card, which I would take a look at and review, and then the capstone essay. Okay. And then once that happens, you can claim your badge. Very cool. There's also a wealth of resources that's also linked to our PFFP page. So do take advantage of those resources as well in our Canvas site. All right. So I'm less familiar with Pffp because it is run through the Center for Teaching and Learning, but from what I understand with Pffp is that it is very specific for specific disciplines, where PFFP is not. But what I will say is it's likely that you can use some of the work that you've done in Pffp to cover some of the teaching aspects of PFFP. Okay. Yeah. So right, agreed. It is broader training for academic life. And what I would say too is the teaching side of Pffp, the syllabus, the instruction side of it, you can likely utilize that for your PFFP teaching hours. But in addition to that, we want you to also have that broader aspect. Okay. So great thoughts there. Thank you. All right. And so I think that's probably about it. I want to let Danique speak to you all and speak about her PFFP experience because I think it's an interesting one. So Danique.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Danny Jingelli. I recently graduated officially July 31st of the summer. So I'm here fulfilling my postdoc role in navigating life after grad school. I did my PhD in biochemistry and molecular biology at IU School of Medicine. So I first came in as a graduate student with the hopes of like going down like the faculty route. So after getting my PhD, I was going to do a postdoc and then like maybe do a few more postdocs and then go into academia, like faculty route. And I started like PFFP because as I was going through graduate school, I realized that I kind of wanted to do a little bit more with my career and navigate like maybe my own career niche. And so I just needed some of that extra support, I would say, and being able to kind of look at different avenues along that route and what was accessible to me. And so I joined PFFP, or I applied and was accepted to PFFP. And I really liked that it was very flexible. And as I was like attending different sessions, so I attended sessions on like faculty and like teaching and development. And then I realized like I didn't know a lot about the structure or even what was required of a faculty member. And then I also noticed that the sessions that I was attending were more professional development based and outside of just the faculty realm in general. And I think just my desire to like attend those sessions kind of was like cluing me into recognizing that I was expanding what I wanted to do in my career. But I really enjoyed PFFP. It was very flexible. The Canvas page was super useful because there were so many sessions that were on there, things that, you know, I was like, oh, I can't even put this on my calendar. There's so many things going on. But the other benefit about it was that I was already attending like ongoing seminars and other sessions that qualified for the credits for PFFP. So that was easy to navigate as I did it. And I completed it within like about less than a year. of me joining. And this was all throughout like my last year, like going into my last year and beginning my last year of my PhD. So yeah, that's my story. I don't know if anyone has any like specific questions. I'd be happy to answer them if you do.
One thing that they need to share with me, and I don't think she'd mind me sharing it with you all, is she said, when I first started thinking about PFFP, I thought I was going to take this this faculty route. But as I continued, I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to do this faculty route. And I think that that clarification and just like having that experience early on and saying, you know, maybe this is not the route I want to take. Maybe I do want to take a different path. I think that's super helpful as well. So yeah, thanks a lot for sharing, Danique. We appreciate it. And feel free to hit Danique up in the chat if it's needed as well.
Yeah, and I'll put my email. So if you have like any follow-up questions, feel free to email me.
Thanks, Dr. Jingelli. We appreciate it.
There is a question in the chat. No, it was not required for my program.
Other questions? All right. So hopefully we're convincing you and talking you into PFFP. All right. If not, if you're not quite there yet, some pros, right? It is flexible. There's no timeline for completing the program. So I've had some folks that have completed it in a semester, and I've had other people who have started it, left it alone for a while, and then came back and completed it before they finished up. As mentioned before, you'll complete the program requirements, upload your documentation card for us to review. You'll complete the Capstone essay project, which is just a reflective essay on your PFFP experience. And really all I want is one page double spaced, okay? And then you'll get your certificate, as these folks have here, and a badge that can be added to your LinkedIn page. So, up close and personal certificate, you can hang it on your wall, you can put it on your refrigerator, you can brag about it to your friends. And then of course our badging system that goes to your LinkedIn profile. And the cool thing about the badging system is that when other people see that you have claimed this badge, they can click on the badge and they can see what you've done to earn it. So that's pretty cool to think about too, okay? We've already talked a little bit about why participating, and thanks, Danique, for sharing your experience. PFFP does help you explore a full range of career options, responsibilities, and mentoring in academic and non-academic careers. It helps you gain insight into academic and industry positions. In fact, there is an event with Eli Lilly this evening in the library from 6 to 8 p.m. For those who are kind of thinking about a route that could be in industry. It helps you observe and experience faculty responsibilities, get career coaching and mentoring, exclusive access to workshops and events, which I kind of mentioned previously. And we've heard from Danique. I'm not going to play this video, but when we send you guys the slides, you can definitely click on this video and hear this student's perspective as well, okay? All right, so benefits, I already kind of mentioned a lot of these, exclusive access to workshops and events, increased networking opportunities and collaboration skills, access to professional networks. One that I've mentioned but haven't mentioned is the NCFDD, which is the National something for Faculty Diversity. Gain insights into the expectations of your field of interest, which is always helpful, professional development opportunities outside of your areas, opportunities to expand your mentoring team, which I think is always helpful as well. Gain skills that employers look for in applicants, not just those didactic research skills. Access to those program resources, a flexible program is absolutely free, and a lot of them can count towards certification too, if that is something else that you're working on with the Center for the Integration of Research, Teaching, and Learning. Questions so far? All right, so this is Danny getting her certificate. I always like to have our students, as they complete, I like to have them come and stop by the office, especially like semi-post pandemic, to take a picture as they receive their certificate. And always a point of joy for us, right, to be able to say that someone else has completed the PFFP program. And so we've gotten lots of great feedback over the years, and we get a lot of that through the reflections that happen in our capstone essays. I'm not going to read all of these, but I will read one from Robert. He says, if a trainee is unsure about participating in the program, I would say just do it. They can attend the events they find interesting and at their own pace, and I didn't see any drawbacks to program participation, only positives in their future endeavors. So take it from our scholars that they are events requirements in person or available as distance accessible. So a lot of our events are on Zoom, and a lot of the events on the program plan are on Zoom. I will say that our conference this year will be in person, but outside of that, most of the programming will be accessible to folks who are out of state and on Zoom. So I had a perfect segue to our conference. Thank you for that question. So our PFFP Pathways Conference is coming up. It is going to be in November. And with the Pathways Conference, we usually have seminars on teaching, research, service, professional career panels, networking opportunities there. But the highlight of the day, always, is our 3-minute thesis competition, okay? Have any of you guys heard of this 3-minute thesis before? I see some heads nodding. I see some other heads not nodding. But if you have not heard of it before, scholars get 3 minutes and 1 slide to share their research, right? And they can win up to whatever amount. Last year, I think our winner won $500. And then our second place person, I think they won $300. And then we had someone that won our People's Choice Awards, and I think they also won $300 or $250. So for 3 minutes worth of work, you could win $500. Very cool, right? And we have a couple of 3-minute thesis participants and winners in our space today. I didn't throw their picture up, but it was one of them was on the website, so you can probe those folks, but also save the date in your calendar. It's going to happen November 17th. I would love to have you guys participate, and I have an example that's linked here if we have time towards the end, but I want to give time for questions as well. Okay, so 3-minute thesis is open to PhD students. The 3-minute pitch is open to master's and professional students, and it's always the highlight of our Pathways Conference. And it's just an amazing experience to have our students share with us their research to a lay audience, to folks like me who may or may not understand what they're talking about. Very cool and a lot of fun. All right, some other ways to engage. Everyone knows that LinkedIn Learning is a resource for them too, right? Yes. Yes, okay. So you can access LinkedIn Learning through OneIU. And with OneIU, just go in and say LinkedIn Learning. It will pop up, and there are hundreds of subjects, really thousands of subjects that will pop up there. You can go through some of their courses, and we will also give you credit towards PFFP to do that as well, okay? We also have a series with our Graduate Mentoring Center. It used to be midday mentoring dialogues. Now it's monthly mentoring dialogues because we've switched. Sometimes we'll have them in the middle of the day. Sometimes we'll have it at the end of the day. But be on the lookout for those and those opportunities as well. The Center for Teaching and Learning, we collaborate with them all the time. Their next event that you might want to participate in is called Grad Chat. And with Grad Chat, I believe that this one on the 21st is talking about technology and utilizing Canvas and some of the apps there in your teaching instruction, okay? And these are live links, so when we send this out, you can click there. But I also think it may be already on our PFFP program plan. The CERTL network is one that I've mentioned before. The Center for Integration of Research, Teaching, and Learning. We have a lot of the CERTL programming on our PFFP program plan. And the benefits of CERTL is that there are over 40 different schools that are CERTL program contributors. So you're not just hearing from us, you're not just hearing from our campus, but you're hearing from schools all across the country about whatever issues and whatever topics are going on in teaching today. So it's really cool to be a part of that network. And because we are a campus that utilizes CERTL, you can also utilize your PFFP credit and your CERTL credit at the same time. So you could get a badge for PFFP, but you could also get an associate's level badge for CERTL. So keep that in mind as well. And with CERTL, you can self-enroll. The NCFDD, the National Center for Faculty Diversity, they often have lots and lots of programming to just kind of help you through the process. It's very cool. And I might take you guys to that website so you'll see that as well. Last year, we had our very first PFFP Scholars Social, and we hosted that at 16 Tech, which is close to campus, but far enough away that you know, people wouldn't walk by and wonder what you were doing, right? So we paid for food, and we just sat with our scholars and allowed a networking opportunity to occur there, okay? So with that, I think that we'll leave the rest of the time for any questions that you all may have and to clarify anything that you may want to have more information about. If you have questions after this that you think of, feel free to email us at pffp@iupui.edu or email me or Charisma directly, okay? So I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and open it up for any questions that you guys might have. Questions about the program plan, about program requirements. There is no timeline for completion. We send you announcements about stuff. All right, so I'm gonna expect everybody's application in very soon. Carissa says she got 3 new applications in today, so that was really exciting. Other questions?
Hi.
Hey,
I have a question. When is the deadline for this application?
so we accept applications on a rolling basis. So there's no real deadline for this semester. If you want to go ahead and apply, you can absolutely do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Thanks, Megan. I see your message. Other questions? And I know I've got some folks who have been on it and edit for a little while and just need to complete that application, or who have been edit for a little while and just need a couple of more sessions to complete the program. So I encourage you to do that. And we've got a wealth of options that you can use to do that. And if you think of things and they're not on our PFFP program plan, send them to us and we'll see what category they added to. Thanks you guys so much. Y'all have a fantastic afternoon. Try and beat the 5 o'clock traffic. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If you're accepted into the program, what's the length of the program? So it's really flexible, right? So you have the flexibility to decide how long it may take you. I've had students that have completed it in a semester's time, and I've had students that have taken longer to complete it. There's no deadline to completing. I've had some students that have come to me and said, Dr. Hardy, I thought I was going to be able to do more this semester, and that's perfectly fine. If you need to take a step back and do less that semester, that's fine as well. So I think the flexibility is one of the things that is a strong point for the program, because we all know that life happens, situations happen. So maybe today you can go to 2 or 3 sessions, but for the next month you don't get to attend anything because you've been busy. I think that's perfectly fine, because we are able to be flexible with the program. Other questions? And I've had part-time students do the program as well. I've even had a few post-bac students who go through some of parts of the program as well. No problem, y'all. We're here for you and here to support you guys with whatever you all need. It's a great program. I went through it myself and it wasn't even that awesome. No, it was awesome then too, but it's more awesome now. So thanks, y'all. Have a great day, everybody.